Hello there, gang. Devere here with another pass blast, a bit of a quick pass blast. And we're looking at Brothers in Arms, Earned in Blood. This was the second game in the series. So, option-wise, pretty much exactly identical to the first one, because this was also released in 2005. In fact, only about 6 or 7 months after the original Road to Hill 30. So you've still got the multiplayer, which is probably still dead, or you'd need to use a third-party service such as Tungle or Hamachi. But now we have a skirmish mode added to the game. So you've got a... You can also play from the Germans. You've got a fair decent amount of content in objective mode, timed assault, defense, a standard wave defense thing, and a tours of duties. So a decent amount of content. And of course we've got the main meat and veg, the stories and chapters. I shall play... Let's give this one a try. This is fairly a good experience for what the game brings.
This is when you were promoted to sergeant, correct? After you took Carentan?
Yes, sir. I had a little ceremony at the base of the church, but it was cut short by German mortar fire coming from the south side of town.
There was still some resistance? Who was with you?
Well, I had Paddock, Fryer, and Marsh from 2nd Squad. There were also some 1st Squad guys that Mac picked up after the drop. They got folded into 2nd. Campbell, Page, and McConnell.
Those mortars are coming from the train yard about a block away. Red, you go down the alley behind those houses and push through. We'll swing around the other side.
So that is, of course, Baker, who you played in the first game. So there's some of the improvements. I mean, visually wise, it's still the Unreal 2 engine. It's still basically the same assets. So it's all very, very similar. You can now talk to your troops. And if they've got the same sort of gun as you have and you're getting low on ammunition, you can also get ammunition from them. But outside of that, mostly the same. It's just for starters, the maps are a lot more, a lot better designed.
I need you. Give me some goddamn fire.
Let's try and get these chaps into position. So you've still got your same controls. You can manoeuvre them around your different fire teams. Get them to suppress. And of course there's still the machine guns. To suppress with. Still can't put your troops onto them, unfortunately. Same with the tank machine guns. You just get them to push straight and assault that one. I try and keep them covered as best as I can. Let's hopefully manage to take it without... Oh well, brilliant. They're virtually almost dead already. That's not a great start. Of course, that's another thing that makes this mission challenging, to say the least, is of course is the... just dead on that machine gun is this mortars. As you can imagine, you can expect your team to sometimes get wiped out, but not a lot you can do about it. Let's try and move the other lot up to say there. So yeah, I mean visually it's obviously absolutely the same, but there's more. It just feels like there's slightly more crisper details in places. Maybe it's just my imagination. I think they've got them. There's still no sprint or anything over. So in some ways this is very much an enlarged expansion pack of the original. Let's try and get as close to those windows.
I need you over there.
You guys go there to provide cover and fire. Also the gunplay, I mean it's very similar. I mean there's still lots of scope sway, and it just feels a lot more a lot more accurate than was in the Road to Hill 30. Ooh, let's have that for starters. Right, so we seem to have this one. Right, those guys are still there. Let's get you guys here. And it's still not super laser accurate, of course. But it's certainly a lot better, a lot more reliable than it was in the other Road to Hill 30. Really, you could be almost point blank on them. Your bullets would keep missing. So with those guys there, this is the problem trying to fight this mission with the mortars all over the place. They're trying to flank across. Try and put an end to that. Story-wise, it's a bit confusing because you play Hartsock, who was part of Baker's squad the first time. The way they tell it kind of makes sense in some ways and sometimes doesn't. And the special mechanics are all still basically the same. This is not a good place to be. Try and push those guys to there. Oh, this is kind of, I'm kind of getting split now, which is what I don't want to happen. Just going to try and keep them down as best as I can. Right, I'm going to have to try and call a duty and zip round the back here and take this one out. Right, that's better. So these guys up over here. Yeah, there's a lot more urban maps, and the map design itself is also vastly improved over Road to Hill 30. There are still a few checkpoints. Hopefully, so that's just a mortar team. I can work around the back here. There we go. That's at least things are a bit safer till the next mortar team kicks in, of course. So yeah, map design is definitely a massive improvement. You've got a lot more open space to manoeuvre around. It's just everything's just generally better. There's still like the odd occasional AI issues when you're trying to send your troops. You want it to attack, it moves them, or sometimes they won't get into the cover correctly and get cut down by a machine gun. So there are still a few issues within the game, but overall it's a much smoother experience. Much smoother experience. These are still the worst grenades in history. Overall, yeah, this is a much more enjoyable experience, and you get a lot more. Oops, some Germans there. So you know, it's much more content as well because of the skirmish mode. It gives you a lot more stuff to play. If I remember right, there's a machine gun up here. Can I flank around this side and get them? This is not a good place to be caught, especially at the more higher difficulty levels, of course. That would have been me done. Just wondering what that... No, I don't want to be going that way. That's what I thought. So yes, all in all, much smoother experience. A lot more content. I would honestly suggest that if you was to getting into the Brothers in Arms series, I would honestly start with this one. I was hoping. A good selection of enemy weapons to pick up. Right, keep them suppressed because I'm getting a little bit low on ammunition here. Still got the bar though. Oops, he's a little bit close. They can still tear you up pretty rapidly, these guys. You can't You can't get too overly confident in your abilities here.
Put some fire on them, Paddock.
Come on, chaps, don't stop firing. So way around this way. Yeah, the maps are certainly a lot more. If I can get to there without that machine gun getting me. So I think we'll get around to concluding our dealings here, gang, because we've just got to carry on fighting over there, and there's another mortar team to deal with. But yeah, so all in all, if you was looking to start with the Brothers in Arms series, I mean, obviously I would suggest you buy the pack because it's cheap enough and you get all 3 games. I would actually say that this is the more expansive game. It's certainly smoothed out in a lot of places outside of the occasional AI issues. To say, well, you'll try to get behind cover here and one of them will decide to stand in the open and get machine gunned down. You've still got the ability to reload your checkpoints, which when you start playing on harder difficulty levels, if you try to get through without any casualties, you will need. And there's still the odd occasional moment when you have to kind of solo YOLO a tank or something, Call of Duty style, because your troops don't have any, don't really have any tank capabilities. Yeah, so I'm not likely to get shot by that machine gun because it's more of an area of effect. But if it does, it can ruin your day pretty rapidly. Let's get these chaps up. So now we have the issue with the. Oh, well, I say that. I should have really covered him first. So now there's the mortars. Right, I want you guys there. What's left of you guys form up on me. And we'll sort of flank down this way. Yeah, so everything's just a lot smoother, even though it was only 6 or 7 months later this got released than the original. It's just everything's been vastly improved for the most part. So there, just want to move without. Oh yeah, there's still no way to actually get your troops to manoeuvre without. Oh, hang on, wrong one. Damn, that was my fault. They've now tried to run in a straight line. They took the shortest route. That was just sloppy on my part. I wasn't paying more attention to what division I had picked. So yes, all in all, a vast improvement, even though I might not have looked at it from the way I just played that there. So anyway, gang, we'll conclude our dealings here. Brothers in Arms, Earned in Blood, vastly improved. A lot of content, well worth the extra. Well, the extra, it's about the same. It's about the same cost, and if you get them on a sale, it only costs about £1, and you'll get a lot of content. Really good tactical shooter. So anyway, gang, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.